Spurgeon here with RevZilla to talk to you about the Velomacchi 50-liter hybrid duffel backpack available at RevZilla.com. So what you're going to see on the table in front of me is a hybrid from Velomacchi. This is a backpack slash duffel bag. And really what you're seeing here is if you want to use this as a backpack, you can. Velomacchi says that's really its intended purpose. But where we see more riders utilizing this is as a duffel bag, something that they can strap down to the back of their motorcycle. And then once you get to where you're going, whether it's a campsite or you want to walk around a small little town, you can pop this off the bike and you can use this as a backpack to make sure that you don't have to leave your stuff sitting on the bag. So because of this, because it's not just a backpack, we're going to give it a call out on our BSD, our beard scale difficulty for installation. This is going to be a 1 out of 3. This is something that shouldn't take you more than 5 or 10 minutes, depending on your motorcycle, to install in the back. And if you're using it as a backpack, well, that's pretty much a 0 out of 3 on our BSD. You just throw your arms through there, and since you've probably been using one of these since kindergarten, you have an idea of how that works. Velomacchi is going to be a premium brand. This bag is coming in around the $400 price point. Kevin Murray founded Velomacchi in the early 2000s. He came from North Face, and he basically said, you know what's lacking in the market is that there's a place for a really high-end quality bag, something that could be a backpack, something that could be waterproof, something that could be still stylish and fashionable, and it can work for a variety of different applications, including the moto industry. Now, the main backpack that they're really known for is their 28-liter roll top. That's something that you really see a lot of riders out there using. This is going to be a little bit of a different flavor. This is a little bit more motorcycle luggage oriented with the availability to use this as a backpack. Now the material has not changed. This is that same Aquafort 1000D material. The inside is going to be a TPU laminated interior to this, and the outside, it's very Teflon-like, but they call it their Kiss coating. It's a proprietary coating they use to make the actual shell itself waterproof. Now, where this differs from the roll top is that the opening for this is not going to be a roll top opening. You've got 2 snaps, and then you're going to have a water-resistant YKK zipper that runs along the top. The only potential fail point you could possibly have for water getting in this is that it's a water-resistant zipper. So if you let this bag sit outside for a longer period of time and water pools up along the top, you can have water kind of push through that water-resistant zipper. But really, if you're just using this under regular riding situations and it does start to rain, as long as you're not just letting it sit outside for hours on end with water pooling up, you shouldn't have any problems with the waterproof functionality of this. Now to open it up, you do have this little grapple hook design over on the top side, and this is going to be different than the bottom side. The bottom side on this is going to be a flat design. So think of it almost as a large hiking pack, whereas if you want to have that sitting up, it'll sit up on its own, and then you have this top point which works as a closure. And then to open it up, it's simply just a zipper. You are going to have these storm liners which will run underneath that water-resistant YKK zip. So that gives you a little bit of extra protection against waterproof. You can see some of the stuffing that I stuck in here popping out. But what you'll notice is that it's that same ripstop nylon that we're going to see on the interior of the 28-liter bag. So this is going to be an extremely beefy interior, adds to the waterproof protection. The one thing to note is that the interior is not removable on this. Now as we zip this up, you've got one really nice pull. I actually like the pull that they put on the zipper on this, so you get a really secure feel. Before I latch this back down, what you'll notice is a little additional pocket over here on this side. If you reach in here, we've got our mounting straps for mounting this down. I'm going to set those aside for right now. We'll come back to those mounting straps in a minute when we talk about mounting this down to the motorcycle. When you close this, the one thing you'll note, the Hypalon, it takes a little bit of getting used to when you're using that grappling hook design. As the bag begins to break in, it becomes easier to use with that. And when you're looking at the pockets on the side, this gets back to our 50 liters in capacity. The actual interior of the bag, the large compartment, is 42 liters, and then you've got separate 4-liter pockets on either side. Now these are going to be water-resistant pockets. While they are going to be a lined pocket, what you'll notice, same thing that you probably saw me talk about with the 28-liter roll-top bag, is that where these grommets come into play, you'll notice, actually if I pull this over you can see, the grommet on the inside actually just sits with this little stopper on the inside of this. So that is a point where, in really a lot of rain, you can have water push through that little grommet there where the tabs come through. The one thing I'd note is that just, don't put anything extremely valuable in there. If you've got a cell phone or an electronic device that you don't want to get wet, I'd save this for maybe some clothing items or some additional items that if they do get a little bit damp, you're not going to be too concerned with. So you'll notice that the elasticated straps on this will not stretch out over time. So that's the one thing that kind of speaks to the heirloom quality of the Velomacchi products. Yes, they're expensive, but they're designed to last pretty much the end of time until you decide that you want to stop riding motorcycles or stop using packs. Now, you'll notice that you've got the front 4-liter pocket on this side, you've got the back 4-liter pocket on this side. If you look, there's going to be a little Velcro pocket behind that, and if we pull this out, you're going to have actual duffel bag handles. So you can use this as a duffel bag in addition to the backpack straps, and they stow nicely down back in place, and that closes right back up. So Velomacchi has done a great job of really thinking about all the different possible ways you can use this. And like I said, you can also use it as a backpack. Now, speaking with Velomacchi, they said they really see a lot of people using this as a backpack. Frankly, if you've got 50 liters worth of crap in here and you're trying to wear this on a longer trip as a backpack, it is going to be damn heavy. I really see, in my opinion, more riders using this as a bag that they could strap down to the back of the motorcycle, and then when they get to where they're going, they can pull it out and they can use this as a backpack to either carry it through camp or carry it around town if you don't want to leave any items on the motorcycle. So one of the things that's really going to set the Velomacchi bags apart is the actual backpack straps themselves. In addition to this hinge bracket system up top, what you'll notice is you have max amounts of adjustability down at the bottom. So when you open up the quick release, you'll notice these are all marked as small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, and then it keeps going from there. So if you've had problems wearing a backpack in the past, if you're a larger rider with a larger midsection, you simply can't get a backpack to fit you, Velomacchi is one of the few backpacks, if the only backpacks we've seen in the market that work for larger riders. We talked to some of our larger riders here at RevZilla, and folks that can't use Kriega backpacks or Climb backpacks easily can fit with these, and there's been a lot of excitement out there from larger riders. And one of the reasons, in addition to what you're seeing with the additional straps on the bottom, it's the way this hinge system works. So if you're a skinnier rider with a slender build, this kind of falls into place to fit firmly against your chest, but if you're a larger rider with a wider chest, you'll notice that the hinge system actually kind of opens up as it works. And these little brackets, these little kind of like grenade pin style brackets, are actually removable. So the harness system that's on this particular bag is different than the harness system that you're going to see on the 28-liter bag. Now, it's still going to use a fidlock design. So a fidlock is this little sternum strap that you're going to see right here. And to open it up, you're simply going to slide it, and it slides right open. You're going to pull down, it slides out. But to close it, all you have to do is hold it close. And there's this magnet inside, so to slide it open and then hold it right in, and then it's locked in place. This is also going to be adjustable. So you're going to have a rail system on the 50-liter that's not going to be the same as the fidlock system that you're seeing on the 28-liter bag. This section, this harness section, is replaceable. So if you wanted to, this grenade pin style, you're going to have noticed that this is simply what you'd see from a key ring. You can pop the key ring off, and you can push these pins out and then swap the harnesses back and forth. Velomacchi will have the harnesses sold separately where you can swap those harnesses if you want the different fidlock system between the two bags. The one note here is that we've tried swapping these. These grenade pins are extremely tight from the factory, so you kind of have to work them out. We did talk to Velomacchi. They said, yeah, once they kind of loosen up, you'll have an easier time getting those in and out to swap them back and forth. But the first couple times you swap them, you probably got to put a little bit of pressure evenly and make sure they pop through without damaging those grommets along the outer side. Now you'll notice there is going to be an additional pocket on the back of this. So if we pull, let's undo our little fidlock system there, we'll slide down. We'll pull this strap out of the way. What you'll notice here is that you are going to have a separate pocket on the back of this, and that's going to be a hydration pouch. So if you want to, you can put a hydration pack in there, you can run it out, and then on your shoulder straps, you are going to have these elasticated bands, which will allow you to run that hydration tube down. And then for this particular strap system, you are going to have a medical pocket here. So if you want to put something like a driver's license or a credit card, you have the availability to do so. And then if you want to switch over to the other Velomacchi harness system, you'll have a spot where you can actually mount a GoPro. On this side, you'll see it's the same as the 28-liter. This Velomacchi logo is actually elasticated, and it's the perfect place to hold a tire pressure gauge. Now, my one nitpick, and it was the same thing I called out for the 28-liter bag, is that there's no real padding for the back of this. Some of the more higher-end backpacks that we've seen from other manufacturers have 3D foam, which helps to promote airflow and add comfort. You're not going to see any of this with the Velomacchi. So while there's so much attention to detail thrown in here, it would have been nice to see them just kind of incorporate a little bit more padding to the back of the bag itself. But damn if that fidlock system isn't cool. So for those of you out there that are looking for something a little bit different than a traditional backpack, you want maximum storage, this is going to be something that you can consider. Now we say that because of the fact that this is going to also be mounted as a duffel bag. You can use this to mount down. So when we mentioned earlier our BSD, our Beard Scale of Difficulty, to get this mounted to your bike, what you'll notice with the harness system that I pulled out, you're going to have these little tabs right here. In the same way we had those G-hooks earlier, you're going to simply be able to run those G-hooks right through there, and that locks down into place. And then you'll notice, just pull that out of the way, on the other end of the G-hook, you're going to have these straps which you can run around a frame rail on your motorcycle. So what you basically do is you'd run the straps around the frame rail of the bike, the G-hook goes into place, the straps stay on the bike itself, and then once those are wrapped around, you're simply going to lock that into place. So one of the things to note, if you are planning on using this in the back of a bike, you need to make sure that somewhere on that motorcycle you have a place to run these around an exposed frame rail or something that's not going to break off. If you try to run these around a turn signal stock, not only are you going to probably lose your luggage off the back of the bike, you're going to find yourself replacing your turn signals as well. So make sure if you are planning on mounting this down, you're doing so in a way where this mounting point is going to be secure. Now, there's a lot of folks out there utilizing Velomacchi products. And if you want to hear more about what those folks have to say, you can click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting a Velomacchi pack through its paces. If you have more questions for one of our gear geeks, give them a shout at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Velomacchi 50-liter hybrid duffel backpack. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.